Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about the number one nice guy habit you need to stop. Now, luckily, if you've been a follower of my channel for a long time, then you probably already know what this big nice guy habit that you need to stop. Okay, but for those who are newer to the channel, or this is the first video you've ever watched of mine, then this is the number one nice guy habit that you need to stop right now. And that is being inauthentic. Okay, so what this means is it can mean a lot of different things, but the best example I can give is if you find a woman really attractive and you really want to date her, but you pretend to be her friend first, even though your overriding emotion is you fancy her and you want to ask her out, but you're too scared, you're too worried about rejection. So what you do instead is you put on a false mask of being her friend, and you're just basically being the friend because you're trying to figure out, well, does she like me? So I'll just be her friend first, or just test the waters, or just see how it's going, or just experience being around her for a little bit, right? See if she likes me. Maybe you're also hoping that she's going to make the first move. So you just pretend to be her friend. And then when you get some time, you just pluck up the courage then to ask her out. But the thing is when you do that, you're not being real. And women can usually tell when a man is not being authentic and genuine. Okay? So it's a good idea to just let that idea go of, okay, I want to be a friend first. You got to let it go. You can't do that. Okay? You got to be real. You got to be going by your overriding emotion. Now, you may also just want to be a friend. You may also have the genuine interest in being her friend as well, but you got to think about what's the most strongest emotion am I feeling? How is my feelings of friendship stronger than how much I fancy her and how much I want romance with her? Or is my feelings of romance more stronger, and my sexual desire for her, is that more stronger than my desire to be her friend? And if your desire for romance is stronger than your desire to be her friend, then that's the emotion you've got to work on. So basically what this means is when you meet a woman and you fancy her, yeah, as long as she's single and available, you should just ask her out there and then. Say, I think you're absolutely stunning. I'd like to get to know you better. When are you free? That's all you have to say. Because if she's, for whatever reason, not available, let's say she's single, not single, but you didn't know, then she'll just say, oh, sorry, I've got a boyfriend. And then you can just be like, well, you know what? Just take it as a compliment. You're absolutely stunning. That guy is really lucky, and then you just get on with the rest of your life, right? And you just don't talk to her anymore. Or if you work with her, then you'll just, just treat her like the regular co-workers that you work with. You don't treat her any better, you don't treat her any worse, you just treat her the same as everybody else. That's literally what you do. Okay? Because one of the things why this is bad as well, when you're being inauthentic and you're pretending to be a friend, or you're just not being open about how you're actually feeling about her. And what I mean by that is, I'm not saying that you should, vomit all of your feelings all over her and become really needy and say, oh, I'm in love with you, that you're the best thing that's ever happened to me, or whatever. I'm not saying, when I say, when you shouldn't hide your feelings, I don't mean that you should go overboard and write her a love letter or something like that. But your desire for her, you should let her know about it, right? The desire that you want to get to know her, the desire that you want to date her, the desire that you want to see her out in that way. That's why I gave you that example. So rewind the video and go and watch the first bit of this video again, right? So the reason why being inauthentic is not good is because if you're being inauthentic and you're trying to be a friend, or you're testing the waters, you're not being bold, you're not being direct, you're being indirect and you're subtle and you're being sneaky about it, you're coming across as creepy. She thinks you're creepy, okay? If you do that. If you're inauthentic and you're not being real with her, you're being creepy, okay? Right? And it's hard to hear, right? It's hard to hear. It's hard to know that, oh my God, I'm being creepy. But guess what? Everyone's kind of a little bit creepy if they're inauthentic and they're not being genuine and they're being sneaky about it. I've known women to be kind of creepy as well when they've liked guys and they're just not being, open about it, and they're not just asking him out for goodness sake, right? and they're going about these other roundabout, sneaky, stalkery ways. It's creepy, right? Right? Because there's women that will have a crush on a guy that say they work with, and they'll just stalk his social media profile for hours. It's creepy. It's so creepy. Okay, it's so creepy, right? And so it's not just guys who are creepy. Women can be creeps too, and it's just weird, right? So if you like someone, if you fancy someone, this is for the women too. If you like someone, if you fancy them, just ask them out, right? Because the worst thing that can happen is they say no, and that's not going to kill you. It's just going to sting. That's all, right? And then you can just move on with your life. But at least then you know. At least then you know that they're not interested, and you can move on with your life instead of pining after them for months and years, trying to pluck up the courage, right, to say something. Let it go. Just be bold. Just be brave. Just ask them out. Because the reason I'm saying this, okay, is because I've been in that exact same place, okay, and I wasted so many years, so many months of my life when I had crushes on women, and I would either pretend to be their friend, or I would just pine after them, and then after a while my feelings for them would just build up so much that I would just love vomit all over them, send them a long love letter, and then they're like blindsided by it because they thought we were friends, and then what ended up happening was I sent them a massive love letter, right? And I did that multiple times with multiple different women, okay, and it was such a time suck, it was such a massive waste of my time. Whereas if I was just more direct about it, ask them out. If I got rejected, then okay, fine. I could just moved on to the next woman and just focused on finding someone who did want me instead of, pining after these women for months and trying to be nice about it and, trying to be polite and I better not be too forward. I better not just ask them out straight away because that's too forward. It's too much. No, it's not. What's too much is when you're telling a woman that you're in love with her when you've been friends for a long time. That's too much, right? Because she thought we were friends, and then all of a sudden you're in love with her. Too much, okay? Because your feelings have been building and building over that time. Whereas when you first met her, it was probably just sort of like a crush. And you can go up to a woman, be a bit flirty, and be like, hey, I think you're absolutely stunning. I'd love to get to know you better. When are you free? And it's just one of those first, things that you do. And that's just so much better and so much less creepy and so much less inauthentic than being her pal and trying to be nice about it and just, tiptoeing around her, just testing the waters. It's just always better to just be direct and bold. Now, if you can see that a woman has a ring on her finger, or that she has a boyfriend, or that she's married, then of course you've got to let that woman go. But if you're unsure and you don't know, then just say that exact line that I just said. Go back, repeat the video, right? That's all you need to do. And then you would have just demolished that number one worst nice guy habit ever. Okay? And you'll get more success with women. And women will like the fact, even if they reject you, they will like the fact that you were bold and that you were confident and that you were straight to the point and you weren't inauthentic and you weren't creepy and you didn't hang around and, try to be a pal and all these kinds of things when in reality you wanted to get in her pants. You were you're basically authentic about the fact that you wanted to get in her pants from the start, right? And that's the best way to go about it, because at least then you're on the same page. She knows, and then she can reject you if that's how she feels, or she might like your confidence so much that she would have initially rejected you if you had been her friend first, but because you're so bold and direct, she found it sexy because women like men with confidence. Yeah, that's it. That's what you need to get rid of. Okay, if you can get rid of that and you're more authentic and you're more real from the start, you're going to be doing amazing. Now, I know it's tough to be that bold. I know it's tough to be possibly facing that kind of rejection straight to your face, straight out the gate. But at least it's like ripping off the band-aid. You're getting it over with, right? Instead of slowly peeling it over time. By being a friend and falling in love with her, because the more you spend time with her, the more time you become fake friends with her, the more you're going to fall in love with her, and the more harder it's going to be, and the more difficult it's going to be. Whereas if you just tell her how you feel from the start, as in you ask her out on a date straight away, and you let her know that's what you want from her, then you're ripping the band-aid off. Okay, you're doing it fast, so it's not going to be a slow, painful death, right? It's going to be just a quick one. Right? And obviously I don't mean actual death in that sense. All right? It's just a metaphor. But you get my point. Okay, so if you'd like more tips on how to attract beautiful women, then go to the website www.christineloveridge.com, and you can go and read my book for free. Just click on the menu on the website and just click on the book. It'll take you straight to the page. You don't need to log in. You don't need to sign up. You can read my book 100% totally for free without you giving me any of your personal information. And you can get a physical copy if you want to, and you can get so on Amazon. You can also get it on Kindle, but it's not necessary because you can just read it for free on my website. All you need is Wi-Fi, okay? And obviously that's something you have because you won't be able to watch this video otherwise, right? And if you like coaching with me, then you can go to the same website, www.christineloveridge.com, and just select whichever coaching option works best for you at this current time, and I shall talk to you again very soon.